The Vinyl Man on YouTube.
And now, please welcome your game night hosts, the Vinyl Man, Chris, the Northern Vinyl Guy, Daryl, and from Racer Records, Joe, as they partake in a rock and roll game along with some music, movies, and mayhem discussion.
Hi everyone, welcome to the live stream, live from Tembe and across the pond in Canada also. Tonight's guests are Joe from Racer Joe, joining me as usual. Special guest, returning guest from the panel is Daryl from the Northern Vinyl Guy. Tonight's theme is going to be Roll the Dice. And you're probably thinking, what the hell is going on here? I saw Mark's video, Mark Morris, earlier on. He was quite intrigued to see what was going on. He was trying to guess what was kind of happening. But before we get started, and our brilliant animation, as you can see, our amazing Disney team have been at work trying to design the amazing effects for you this evening.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that in a moment. I'll go to Joe first. Joe, how's your week been this week, mate? How's the shop doing, that kind of stuff?
Good. Busy week. Actually, it was fairly busy. It's like people knew I was away last week and decided that they'd just save up and come in this week. So it was good. Sold a couple of the, there was those bigger numbered ones, those bigger dollar amounted ones or whatever, more classic collectible stuff or whatever. That Presidents of the United States, that sold. The Porno for Pyros sold. So some of the holy moly wall stuff, we'll call it, I guess, for lack of the proper term, and then just a whole bunch of other stuff. And we're still doing it all at buy one, get one half off. So it's been good. It's been decent. So, and yeah, I wasn't here last week. I was in Montreal, which was unbelievably great. Joanne and I, my wife, we went for our anniversary. We also went for the Lady Gaga concert, which, I've gone on and on about it with you guys. And I won't go on too much because I did a little video about it, but it was great. Whoever watches this, there may be some that will still write her off as a joke or something. I'm not sure what. And you know what? I might have started out that way as well with all the weird shit she was doing off the start. But that shouldn't have affected me because I'm used to promotional weird shit because I'm a Kiss fan, right? It's the same type of thing. Because I always kind of enjoyed her music, and then the album Joanne came out, and then I was hooked after that. And then after seeing her, guys, like this show rivaled anything that I've ever seen before, like Metallica, Kiss, all of those guys. It was a different style of show, but it was equally and or greater production-wise, sound-wise, quality-wise, everything-wise than I've seen before. And I've seen lots of stuff. So I went one night, Joanne and I went one night, the tickets we originally had, I found a ticket for the next night. And if I would have been there for the Monday show, which unfortunately she canceled for respiratory reasons, I probably would have gone again because this thing was theatrical. This was like going to a rock opera, the way that I looked at it. It was so good. And she sounded phenomenal. The dancers were unbelievably great. The production, everything was just, it blew me away. It was really, really fantastic. And again, for kind of a hard rock guy, I know that's not necessarily the case, but man, she was unbelievable. It's in my top, I keep saying whether it's in my top 3 or my top 5, but it's in my top 5 concerts of all time for sure, because it was just unbelievably good. Really good.
So after a week now, are you still kind of hyping her up, saying this is my top 10 kind of concert that I've been to? And you've been to a lot.
Yeah, 100%. I'm still singing the songs in my head. And I think that is a good indication as well, is that it stayed with me. It really has. And then I listened to the album a couple of times, and, then you can kind of listen to some of the songs because a lot of it was based off of Mayhem. There was the classics. There was Poker Face. There was Bad Romance, and Bad Romance was worth the price of admission alone. It was just unbelievably good. But even Million Reasons from Joanne and Shallow, from the movie, the new one with Bruno, obviously Bruno Mars isn't there. She did that by herself on the piano. She did like 3 or 4 just by herself on the piano. And it was it was great. And I'm sure those that have heard me say it more than once are getting tired of me talking about it. Like at the shop, every time someone new would come in, Kent, the other gentleman, would go, "Oh, fuck, he's going to talk about it again." But it was just really, really very, very good. Again, whether you like her music or not, you can't say she is not talented and that this show was not phenomenal. So I just happen to have come around to most of, if not all of her music as well. So
Cool.
And Montreal was cool as well. So
yeah, how is the flights?
yeah, other than friggin' don't ever fly through Pearson Airport if you don't have to. If you come to Canada or from Canada, if you can avoid Pearson Airport, I would rather fly to Vancouver, which is the wrong way, a couple thousand kilometers, and then fly back over Regina to get to Montreal. I would rather do that than go through Pearson. So, I mean, in the end, it was fine. We were safe. It was all good. We weren't there that long, but they put us on the plane. They took us off the plane. We were 3 or 4 hours late, which put us back at 2 or 3 in the morning. And it just kind of, it was a shitty end to a phenomenal trip. Pardon my language, but
overall, it was great. Yeah.
Yeah. Montreal's a beautiful city, well worth visiting. There was tons of stuff to do still, tons of stuff we did. Like I said, I've got a little video that kind of encapsulates some of the record shops that we went to, and they were pretty phenomenal as well. There was some great stuff, the concert, just the trip overall. So if you go to Racer Records, you can, if you want to, it's more of a travel log than it is about the record shopping part of it, but that's a big part of it as well. 3 shops that we went to, could have gone to a lot more, but didn't want to drag Joanne around to a bunch of record shops. She doesn't mind, but we did some other stuff. So yeah, it was unbelievably great. Yeah.
So it was kind of like a movie soundtrack, and on that theme, we'll go to Daryl because he's been busy this week with his movie soundtracks part 3. Daryl, what's been going on with you, mate?
Well, this weekend has been, I didn't have anywhere near as exciting a weekend as Joe did last weekend. My wife is out of town with my son, with one of my sons. They were supposed to be going on a hockey trip for a tournament, but his tournament got canceled weeks ago. But she had already booked all the shit. My daughter had already taken time off to go see him play. So I just said, go out and go for a fun trip. So they went to Sudbury. Didn't buy me any records because my wife's not into that kind of thing. But so I've been just home alone with my youngest son, with Emmett, all weekend, doing a deep clean of the house because yay, it is +7 and raining today.
Yeah. You'll take the rain as long as you get the +7 out of it, right?
Yeah. So yeah, no, I've made a couple of videos. I did Vinyl Richie's contest entry last week. I'm going to do Emma's. But yeah, the soundtrack one is the third one that I've done. I don't have any more 80s soundtracks, but it was fun to do that one. And then when we were talking about the theme for this week, you guys were like, Daryl, you've got all kinds of board games. Why don't we try some kind of a game theme and incorporate it into this? So we're going to roll some dice today. That's what we're going to do. And I've got some questions for you guys. That's
okay,
where we'll leave it.
Okay, cool. Before we roll the dice, I did Emma's competition. I think it was Monday now. I did it. So that was a lot of fun. Picked up a box set that I've been waiting to pick up for nearly a year, which you guys know about, which will be maybe in the pile later on. But that's pretty much what I've been to. So before we start rolling the dice and going over to Daryl, Joe, do you want to go through some of the comments first before we get started?
Yeah, 100%. Here, let's do this for now. I can put us back that other way later. So A is for Alice, B is for Bob isn't here because this showed up a couple days ago. I didn't know that you could actually post comments before the show even happens, but somehow Steve's figured it out. Anyway, he's watching the Masters, or he's here. I'm not sure. But Adrian's back with us. Hello, Adrian. Just saying hi to Chris, but that's okay. That's fine. Don't worry about it. It's all right. No, I'm just kidding. Richard back with us. Good afternoon, sir. Hope you're well. Your Colorado Rockies are doing pretty well, actually, for a team that sucked last year. They're doing very well as far as baseball goes, so that's kind of nice to see.
His Colorado Avalanche might even win the Stanley Cup. I was going to say his Colorado Avalanche might even win the Stanley Cup this year.
They might, yeah. They've got a shot. Yep, hockey playoffs start right away.
My Toronto Maple Leafs are doing everything in their power to come in last place, which is amazing because they might get a draft pick out of it.
Yeah, I was going to say they're working on the draft pick at this point, right? So, yeah, and here we go. Compliment the critter with a really impressive game player graphic. Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, it is AI, and I think everybody knows that. It's just me coming up with the right prompts because, I can do some stuff, and there's some graphics that are mine, and sometimes I just rely on, here's the right prompt, give me a background, give me a picture. So, but thank you, Richard. Appreciate that. Deep cleaning is hardcore party stuff. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Good job. Hello, Mark. Nice to see you, my friend. Always a pleasure to have Mr. Morris with us. So yeah, hardcore party stuff. A deep clean hardcore party. There, never mind. I was going to go somewhere, but I'm not. So
cool. Okay. Right. I will kind of hand over the reins now to Daryl. Over to you, mate. Do you want to explain to everybody kind of what we're doing and kind of what the hell's going on here?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. So yesterday, if anybody knows the game Scattergories, there's a board game. It's a die that has, I think it's 23 letters of the alphabet. There isn't Z, there isn't X, and there isn't Q because they're just too difficult to work with. But I rolled that letter die 11 times for each of us, and whatever letter was rolled each time was the letter of the album that we had to pick. So you could either pick the name of the artist or the name of the album title. And then what we're going to do is each of us are going to talk about the record one at a time. And then when we're done talking about a record, Joe is going to roll some, 8-sided dice?
Yeah, there's 2 8-sided. I couldn't find a 16 or I didn't get a chance to make it. So I got 2 8-sided. So it'll still come out to 16. So,
yeah. So Joe is going to roll 2 8-sided dice. And I have a list of 16 questions. And I'm just going to randomly ask the question that is rolled, and you have to talk about that question about the album that you picked. So they're random questions, but they're not questions like, what do you like this album? That's not what it is. It's going to be some
that was
about into a question.
That was about as much as my brain was able to comprehend. So
and basically the way that I came up with some of these questions is I have a few other party board games that have some funny type questions in them. So I tried to incorporate them for vinyl records is how I did it. And that's it. That's what we're going to do.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Right. Okay. Who wants to go first? It's going to be me.
Yeah, no, I can. That's fine. So, okay. Are we going in the order of the letters that you sent us? And I'm trying to look around.
If you want to, I put mine in order just in front of me.
Okay.
So if you want to go in order, it doesn't matter though.
Whatever. Okay. Well, I'm just going to go with the order that I've got. So let's start with this one. We'll start off with, I think this is the 20th anniversary. It also might be the 30th anniversary one of Nirvana and In Utero, because I've got them both. I'm not sure why I've got them both, but I've got them both. So Nirvana's final one together. There's the boys, and there's the back, and heart-shaped box on here. Lots of stuff on here. The one that I'm not exactly sure why they named it what they named it, but they did. And All Apologies is on here as well. Really, really good album. Again, I think this is the 20th anniversary version. It also came with a little 10-inch as well. So yeah, phenomenal Nirvana album. I don't need to say too much about it other than what my question is, I suppose. I don't know if we need to go on much more about it.
Actually, before we spin the dice, I don't think I've ever seen you show that record, and B, that is like one of the most controversial Nirvana albums out there. Like just
Yeah.
the heart-shaped box music video alone was like
Yeah.
that they wanted to cancel Nirvana
Yeah.
after that
definitely.
music video, which is some of the stuff, but it's a great song.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't know. Here, hold on. We've got time. We've got time. What the heck? It's right here. It's easy to grab. So again, I don't know. I grabbed this one. I think this is the 20th anniversary. And then I think this is the 30th anniversary. And it's not a lot different. It is a different cover to it as well. Because it's actually a trifold in the end. So that is one of the things that's different. So it's got that going for it. And I could be wrong. I could be mixing these up. This is 2013. Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember if the 20 or the 30 is the trifold. But anyway, you're right, though. It was definitely controversial at the time. Still probably a little bit anyway. But hell of an album. Great album. Unfortunately, the last from, because shortly after that, we all know what happened. But yeah, so there we go.
I think anytime a music video has somebody hung up on a cross, it's bound to stir some controversy.
Well, sure. Madonna, right? Like a prayer, all that. It does. Yeah. If you're going to put someone on a cross, unless it's, Soundgarden, right? Your Jesus Christ pose. Like there's lots of them, and it's art. It's what it is. But there's always going to be someone. There's someone who complains about pink ponies.
Yeah, and we've talked about that before on multiple live streams. That for the most part, I think the three of us are able to separate the art from the musician.
I think so. Yeah,
because I've got some not in this pile, but man, I've got a few in my collection that some people would go, "Why the fuck are you listening to that guy?
What are you listening to that for?"
He's bigger. He's bigger than a wanker. That guy.
Yeah. I have one that I can think of off the top of my head as well. I love the music, and at the time that I originally loved the music, because it was from the 70s, the guy was probably still an asshole, but it just, then it came out more so after. But anyway, I digress about that. So that's my first one. And you want me to roll the dice now, right? And then
roll the dice, and I will give you your random question. You got to answer it about the album you just showed.
All right, here we go. Looks like an 11.
All right, so question 11 says, if the album cover ever came to life, Joe, how do you think you would react?
Well, let's show the album cover again. So it is a spinless angel. So I'm not sure. I guess I would probably be intrigued, if nothing else. Have a little bit of a conversation, maybe. I'm not sure where they were going with that. There's probably some deep meaning. There was a lot of meaning, and then there wasn't as well sometimes with Nirvana stuff. But and there's no difference between this album cover and this album cover, other than one is a little darker as well. So anyway, I would be intrigued. I don't know if I'd have specific questions, but I think it would be an interesting conversation. It might be a little awkward standing there.
That's the album that it has like all like the blood veins and vessels are going through the body, eh? So it's almost like it's almost like a de-skinned angel.
That's exactly it. Yeah, for sure. So the wings are intact, but but everything else is and then even the hair is not there. So
Joe would ask it to give him a hug.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. I'm not afraid, or I'm not afraid is not the right word. I'm not opposed to the macabre. I don't seek it out necessarily. Like, I'm not a slasher film kind of a guy, I guess, if that's kind of where I was trying to go with that. But that stuff also doesn't bother me, I guess. So,
yeah, for sure.
There you go.
Chris is like, if that's the first question, oh my God, no.
Oh, Chris, you'll be fine. Hey, look, it's Trevor. Hey, everybody say hi to Trevor. Trevor.
Yeah.
There's Trev. He and Alex, and then there was another gentleman on. I missed the earlier part, but he and Alex had a little impromptu live stream last night. That's pretty good if you want to go back and watch it. I was watching a little bit of that. Always fun to see those two chatting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mr. Man, you're up.
Okay, so the first one on my letters was an A. So I went with something completely different. Now I've gone with a theme where it's kind of or I've just gone album, the name of the album. So there's no greatest hits.
Just to clarify right off the bat, eh?
So this is Post Malone, and this album is called Austin.
There you go.
Being as it's a gatefold, you've got to show the inside. So there you go.
Posting his truck. Yeah.
This came on a colored vinyl, I believe. Yes, it did. So not like
I have a question, if I may.
It's a greeny see-through cobalt. Yeah,
Nice.
go on.
Are there no greatest hits because you didn't get the letter G, or just
maybe.
Okay, that's fair. Go on. Go ahead.
And
Sorry.
to be honest, I try to show stuff I don't normally show.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one before. No.
Big fan of Post Malone.
Yeah, you've got a few, right?
Yeah, not as oody. I have got a Post Malone greatest hits, which I could have picked, but I thought, do you know what? No, we're not doing that tonight. I'm not going greatest hits. I'm going with the albums itself. So that was the first one. This is Austin. Some good tracks on this one. Too Cool to Die. You've got Enough is Enough. What else you got? Morning is a good one. Chemical was a massive one.
Mhm.
But yeah, there he is. That's actually his truck. So there you go.
That's a dirty truck. It almost looks as dirty as all the vehicles up where I live.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go.
Okay, rolling the dice. Ready? Here we go.
You ready for this, Chris?
Let's go.
Yeah, you're fine. You're okay. You're doing good. All right. I guess I don't need to bring that up every time. Anyway, it's a 5. Question number 5.
All right, question 5. Chris, if you were to place that album into a time capsule, what would you leave as a message to tell future generations about that album?
Try not to get too many tattoos because when you're 80, you'll look really bad.
Don't get too many tattoos. There you go.
It's kind of I'd say this album is a transition album. So he went from this was kind of his last kind of rapping into singing into country. So time capsule wise, this is
that's right. Because Chemical and those songs, they're not very rap like, eh?
They're more, you can hear him going to poppy kind of music. Then he brought out his greatest hits. And I remember saying to Liz, his next album's going to be a country album. I'm telling you now. And it was. So
there it was.
So there you go. That was my first one.
He's an interesting musician too. Like he seems to, he'd be the kind of guy that if you saw him on the street, I think a lot of people, they saw him on the street and didn't know him, might be intimidated by him because of the tattoos and his grill teeth and all that kind of stuff. But he seems to be a genuinely nice human being.
Yeah. Seems like it. Yeah. Yeah. You're right, though. I mean, a face tattoo is just a face tattoo, regardless of if it's on, the sweetest little old lady or Post Malone or wherever. It's just, we all equate face tattoos to something else. But that's changing, I think, a little bit. Everybody's got a tattoo. I don't have a tattoo, but everybody else has a tattoo. Every time we passed a shop in Montreal, I tried to talk Joanne into one, but she wouldn't do it. So
I have 3, but they're not visible.
Yeah. You don't, Chris? I don't think. I don't know. No. I'm not opposed to.
My mom said to me, if I ever had a tattoo, I'd be out of the will.
You're gone, eh? Yeah. All right. Fair enough. All right. Daryl, our host master, it's your turn, sir.
Okay. So the first letter I ended up rolling for myself was the letter D. And I kind of went a lot. Well, I'm going with the musician or the band, but I kind of went with similar to Chris. I'm trying to show stuff that I haven't, like, I might have shown the artist before, but I don't think I've shown the albums before. And in some cases, I don't think I've ever shown this artist at all. So back to the 1980s, and she was kind of in the, how do I say it? she was in like with Tiffany and Samantha Fox and Whitney Houston and all those girl singers that were kind of, I don't want to call them like sex symbols per se, but I think she kind of fit that mold a bit. And that's Taylor Dane. And so the Tell It to My Heart album, it's kind of like, I don't know, dance, 80s female dance kind of music. Like I said, Samantha Fox, Tiffany. There's one that I'm trying, it's not coming to my mind, but it's another one. And then, you know,
Debbie
then of course there
Gibson.
was the girl bands like Expose and all that. They were all out at that time too. So this is the Tell It to My Heart album. This was her big one. It's got Tell It to My Heart. It's got Don't Rush Me, Prove Your Love, I'll Always Love You. Those are like her big ones. And all the teenage boys would have the one I was trying to think of was like Kylie Minogue. You know, she was out there doing all her thing too. So it kind of fits, I guess, that mold of music. Not something that I listen to all the time, but I suppose that if you were a 13 or 14-year-old boy in 1988 and 89, you might have had some kind of a crush or a thing on Taylor Dane.
I was a 24-year-old man. I had a little bit of a crush on Taylor Dane. I used to play her videos all the time. So she's still around. I think she's still performing. I thought I saw something maybe last year. It's been a little bit, but the old performers from the 80s have been popping up a little bit. Debbie Gibson I saw came up the other day. Tiffany came up
Debbie
the other
Gibson,
day.
forgot about her.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
I would argue actually this album, the Tell It to My Heart. I mean, if you're into Taylor Dane, you don't even need a greatest hits album. I would just buy this one, and then that's it. It's pretty much got like the big. Huh?
What you mean, Daryl?
Wait, what? What?
Just go with this one, Chris. Just go with this one.
I don't know if I have that. I wouldn't be opposed to having it. I did. Like I said, it was good. It was exactly what it was meant to be, right? It was, like you said, it was dancey, poppy, a lot of drums, but repetitive drum beats and keyboards and that. Yeah, it was decent. So it was good. All right, before we roll the dice for you, there you go, Richard saying that. Yes, and Mark, every time I run into Post Malone, he moves to the other side of the road. So yeah, there you go. And I used to watch Madonna videos with the sound turned off. We'll leave it at that. I'm not sure I want to know what you're talking about, Mark. I have a pretty good idea of what you're talking about. But okay, let's roll the dice. Here we go. Okay, this is for Daryl. And then you got to ask yourself the question. I don't know why I
got to ask myself the question.
Yeah, that's right. 9. You get a 9.
All right, my question is, using either the artist or the member of the band, do I think they would make a great politician?
Wow. Maybe.
I guess that depends on what kind of a politician we're talking about here. Do I think that she could influence young minds at that time? I think so. I think
maybe
she would have been like the attractive politician. But I don't think that she really delved into like political subjects or anything. She was more into just like dance music and like hitting up the clubs. So, could I see her being the next Margaret Thatcher? No, definitely not.
No, I don't think so. There will only be ever one Margaret Thatcher anyway, I think, right? So I have a question. Would you guys like to get rid of the board while it's just us talking, or do you want to keep the board while it's just us talking?
Don't bother me.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't bother me.
Nope, it's all good. I just thought people would love to see our lovely faces that much bigger. But I think we'll stick with this for now. Okay, me. Next,
yes.
Let's go with, I just picked this up yesterday. It's an album that I should have had for a long, long time. And I listened to it yesterday, and it might need to grow on me because I wasn't crazy about this album. And from what I had always heard about Big Star and #1 record, I was expected to be blown away. And I thoroughly enjoyed it, but it wasn't like, okay, I get it. I didn't quite get it yesterday, but again, I've got to give it a couple more listens. I have their other album, Radio City, and I like the box top stuff. I like that. So it was good, but it wasn't crazy good. At least, and maybe it was like that movie that everybody's talking about, and you go and see it, and it's pretty decent, but it's not, oh my God, because it just doesn't hit for you. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't crazy for me anyway. So Big Star, because I had B as my next one. So there you go.
Okay, so what kind of music we're looking at for there, Joe? Like genre wise?
Well, yeah, it's not hard rock by any means. It would be similar to, let's put it in the line of a Bad Company, if that makes sense. So it's not hard rock, but it's certainly rock and roll. It's not pop, but it leans a little that way. Again, I only listened to it once. I'd probably listened to a couple of cuts on streaming sometime before, but never the whole album. So I have to listen to it a little bit more again. But I would put it in that category of that 70s kind of not keyboard oriented rock, but rock. Like I say, Bad Company. I don't know why that is in my head, and that could be totally off. And someone will go, "What the hell is he talking about?" Mark is saying he loves the song 13 off of that. Again, I've got to give it another listen because I didn't not enjoy it. I just didn't. It just didn't jump off the speakers like I expected it to because of the conversations or the fact, as much as it's been built up by others. Again, it's good, and maybe it will grow on me that much more. So, but
it's a newer, like within the last, say, 10 years. Is that?
Yeah, it's a reissue from, I can't remember exactly, or a repress from, but yeah, because it came out in 72. And again, it was one of those. It's got so much attention where it seems to be one of those albums that a lot of people will talk about. Like, how did this album not do better than it did? Because it was really never a big hit by any means. And I didn't get that out of that yesterday. But again, I have to give it another listen. And I was doing stuff at the same time. So maybe I sit down, do the way that you properly should. Sometimes you have to properly sit down, just sit there and listen to an album. And maybe that's what I've got to do with it, because there's an example, right? And Richard puts it well, as many others have. Big Star album, essential listening for any record collector. So I gotta give it another listen. Don't get me wrong. I didn't hate it. I just didn't blow me away yesterday. So
it hasn't clicked with you yet.
Well, yeah, it hasn't clicked yet, and I'm sure that it will. Again, enjoyed it, but didn't get the, oh my God, you have to have this yet. Maybe I will. Maybe I will.
Otherwise, somebody in the record shop will enjoy it.
Yeah. That's right. You know what? Even I, who has every opportunity to check and look, bought an album that he already had in Montreal. It was like, oh man, awesome. Shit, I got that already, but that's okay. Now it just goes to the shop.
Your Discogs before you enter the record shop, Joe.
I was positive I didn't have this one, but I did. So that's okay. Like you said, it's nice because now it will just go to my shop and go in the bin there. So it'll just be well traveled. That's it. So, okay, let's roll the dice here and get a question on the Big Star album. Roll it then. There we go. I rolled it twice. Hold on. We'll go with the second roll, which is a 3. So question number 3. I don't know why I hit it twice. Sorry.
Well, this will be a good one because you almost kind of answered this question. But if you were a music critic, Joe, what is the one word you would use to describe that album?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I kind of did. Right. But if I had to narrow it down to one word, re-listen. I don't know if re-listen is a word or not, but it is right now. So that, for me anyway, re-listen. We'll go with that.
Yeah, it seems to be one of those albums that it's kind of like the whole like Bruce Springsteen thing that we talk about, you know. You ask 10 people what their thoughts are on that album, and you're going to get
a
million different ideas.
Well, another example of that, I think anyway, is King Crimson, In the Court of King Crimson. Again, it's one that, oh man, you got to have that. And it doesn't blow me away when I listen to it. I enjoy it, but it's not like, oh my God. But there's albums that I'm sure there's albums that I say, oh man, you have to listen to this and you have to have it. And others go, because that's what music is, right? It is it's great that we put those albums up on some pedestals, and it just gives them that much more credibility, or at least people go and seek them out. and then it's up to them
I'm
whether
going to be honest with you. I might lose some subscribers over this. I might even get kicked off Chris's show. But I feel that way about the Beatles. I'm going to be honest with you.
I thought he was going to say he's going to show his penis then. Okay.
Yeah, that's later.
The same way about the Beatles. Like, do I think that I need the White Album or Sergeant Pepper's or whatever?
Look, mate,
I've got the red and red and the blue, and that's all I need.
My advice to you was just get the number ones, which I've got. I've got a few kind of B-sides and stuff, but apart from that, that's it. My mother-in-law has got the original mono Beatles set, the UK releases on mono, but she won't let me anywhere near them. But I've got the number ones, so
she won't let me anywhere.
Sorry,
you saw
Mark,
that,
I forgot.
Yeah.
Please don't unsubscribe, Mark.
Yeah,
I need all the viewers I can get.
Just in case anyone missed it, you can go to hell there. And I can even hear it. I can even hear Mark's voice telling you to go to hell. So, and Richard talking about a grower. We're not talking about Daryl's penis here, but
let's hope not.
It just happens to be. It just happens to come up at this point.
Yeah, he spelled it wrong. It's supposed to be growler.
Was the Big Star album? Hey, yeah. Okay, and here we go. He apologizes. Just kidding. I understand why people might not like the Beatles. Derangement mostly. So yeah, they're just off a little bit, but yeah. So there you go. All right. I think I answered that sufficiently, kind of. Anyway, so Daryl, Chris, your turn. Yeah.
Good. My next one was B. So Daryl's gonna piss his pants when he sees this. It is John Mayer, and this is Battle Studies. So there he is. There's John in all his glory. Phenomenal album, phenomenal guitarist, brilliant singer in the studio at the moment. Absolutely love it. I'll go through the tracks for you, Daryl. I'll try and get a copy for this and ship it up to the north of Canada, and then you can enjoy it.
Heartbreak Warfare on there.
Yes, so it starts with Heartbreak Warfare. So all we ever do is say goodbye. Half my heart, Who Says, Perfectly Lonely, Assassin, Crossroads, War of My Life, Edge of Desire, Do You Know Me, Friends, Lovers, or Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
This just came on black vinyl. This has gone up in price like you would not believe at the moment.
Yeah.
It has gone crazy.
I can imagine.
I think this was my second album I ever bought on vinyl. I paid this is 2019, so about £20, about 24, 25 Canadian dollars. It is now going for over £50 on Amazon. So I'll see what I can do, Daryl. But that was my B. That is Battle Studies by Mr. John Mayer, which favorite artist of all time for me. So there you go.
Quick before I roll the dice for you, is it just me or is pre-tattoo John Mayer's music more interesting? That from our friend Richard. So is that a true statement, a fair statement, or a statement?
Yeah, I'd go with that. Yeah, I would go with that. There's news that his new album is going to be more blues. So I'm quite interested to see. Last album was Sob Rock, which was kind of 80s kind of pop kind of theme going on. And his other stuff has been electronic. So I'm hoping for kind of blues because he done a live with BB King and he's playing blues, and him playing the blues is amazing. So I'm hoping there'll be a blues album coming now, and then he's covered pretty much every genre apart from rock. So we will see.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good. Okay. Roll the dice. Here we go. I'll just roll them once this time. That is a 12. Question number 12.
All right, Chris. I think I know the answer to this, but would you ever invite John Mayer to have a drink with you at a local pub?
Yes.
A second follow-up question, not that it's on the paper. Do you think he would? Do you think he's the kind of guy that would accept that? Possibly.
Yes.
He seems like a pretty down-to-earth dude.
Yeah, he doesn't drink anymore. John's been sober for like 10 years now. So I think it'd be a case of him coming in and getting maybe a couple of lemonades. And I just like to sit down to him and talk to him and just kind of like say, how does the writing process? Do you do the music first, then the writing, or how does it come to you? Just, little questions. So
Cool.
And then he'd
And
probably
then
ask me to leave.
Chris would do this. He'd go, "Could you autograph this album? I'm going to be mailing it to my friend Daryl in Canada."
Sending this to my friend in Canada. That's right.
Yeah. So
right.
I've seen John live a few years ago in Ireland. Me and Liz when he was an acoustic set, and it was absolutely phenomenal. It was brilliant, really good.
Awesome. Good.
There you go.
Hey, Daryl, your turn, sir.
Okay, so this next one, I got N, the letter N for this next one. I've shown this band before because I don't think there's a single person that I've shown these albums to that aren't fascinated by my Greenlandic collection. But I've never shown this particular album. Usually when I show this band, I show the one that has the polar bear on it that's diving into the ocean. But this one here, it's a band called Nanook. Nanook actually just in English translates to polar bear. But this is their live album. So they actually recorded a live session in Greenland. And so that's the band there with some iceberg stuff in the background. And then on the back of it is like stalagmites and stalactites on the back. All of their music, I don't know if you can see it, it's all in Greenlandic language. And then it is a gatefold. So just hard to see this, but it's almost like the inside of a dark cave almost kind of. But yeah, no, they're kind of like a Greenlandic rock band, I guess you would say. And it was recorded at a concert in Nusivik is what it's called, in Nusivik, Greenland. And you can hear the crowd in the background and stuff. And actually, there is a digital-only soundtrack edition track, which is song number 19. It is a 2-disc set. So I don't know what it is. I really like that band. Even their labels, they always put like a polar bear on the label.
Hang on.
So just a really cool band. I'm not saying everybody's gonna like them, but I just think this is fascinating to me.
Right. Daryl, can you just show the polar bear again so I could use it as a thumbnail?
Yeah, just give me 1 sec. I might even take it right out of the sleeve here.
There you go. Very nice. And Richard asks, did the polar bears enjoy the show? Which I'm sure if they were there, they probably did. Right?
I'll bet you they did. And speaking of polar bears, no joke. Last week there was a polar bear roaming around about 5 kilometers away around our airport here.
You've always got polar bears hanging around with where you are, don't you? Well, not all, but enough anyway. So
actually, so polar bears are usually further north, but because of climate change and because of the food situation, they often they come down here because they're just starving to death. They're trying to find food.
Yeah,
which is not the greatest time to come across a polar bear.
Daryl sent me a video before Christmas, I believe, and it was like a neighborhood near him. There's just a random polar bear walking down the street, and I was like, I could never live there. I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm out.
Well, so my next, not my next video, one of my next videos, I know Joe requested this, and I know a few other people want to see my record game room.
Yeah.
And so I think what I'm going to do is I am going to do a video of my record room and stuff like that. But those 2 videos that I sent you of me driving across the river, I think I am going to put them in there somehow.
Yeah, you got to get a little bit of that in there for sure. So
yeah.
Definitely. One more quick one from Mark here. The guy who doesn't appreciate the Beatles is showing the Nook figures. So there you go. There you go. Mark, it's always fun to have you around, man. It's always fun to have everybody around. We always appreciate everybody that's here in the comments. So, okay, roll the dice. Let's roll the dice because you've got to ask yourself a question still. So let's see. We haven't come up with a second one yet. I don't know if we've had question number 7 yet.
Oh, what musician or artist do I think would have made a great guest appearance on this album?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm actually would be intrigued, and I know that most people don't know who she is if you're from outside of Canada, but I think that like an artist like Susan Aglukark would make a really good. She's an Inuit indigenous singer from northern Canada. And she sings in in language and stuff like that, which I think would be fascinating. But there's also is it Tanya Tagak? She does the throat singing. Is that the one
Yeah,
that does
maybe.
throat singing?
I can't remember.
She might be a really cool one too.
I know Susan. Yeah, I don't know the other for sure, but yeah, I know Susan, and you're right. Yeah, she would make a good fit. Now, I haven't listened to the album, so I don't know what if it would be interesting to have a singer on there, or if it would be interesting to have a musician, like some more guitar. I don't know because I haven't listened to it.
Yeah, I think that if you brought in like somebody that plays an electric guitar really well,
Yeah,
just to do like a cool solo on one of their songs,
just to throw that in there
I
somewhere.
think you know what I think I should do. I should record one of the songs and send it to you guys, and you can hear what it is.
Yeah.
I just think it's fascinating music. It's not going to be for everyone, but I think it's neat.
All right. Perfect. All right. Let's do this. We've made this part of our show. We're going to do this, and we're going to keep it as part of the tradition. Now, I didn't watch a documentary this week, but we're going to find one to talk about. Hold on. So I'll put this to you guys, two things. Either you guys talk about one because I didn't get a chance to watch anything, or B, what are your thoughts about the biopic Michael Jackson coming out? You make your choice, whichever. I don't know if you guys have watched anything or not, but
I haven't watched anything this week because I've been busy in work and I've been finishing at stupid o'clock. But
I haven't.
Michael Jackson one, I am kind of excited about and kind of worried at the same time, if that makes sense. Because my first album I ever bought, well, my dad bought me, was Michael Jackson Bad, because I was a massive Michael Jackson fan back in the 80s. Because I'm a boy of 83, so that was kind of the big album at the moment. I don't know how Daryl stands with it.
Well, here's what I hope, because it is a biopic. I just hope that they don't. You know what they do with some of those biopics where it's not 100% accurate, and I just hope that they don't drop the ball on it. I guess I hope that they do a good job with it. You know what I mean?
yeah, I think that I mean, obviously with all of them, like the Elton John one and the Freddie Mercury and all of the others that have gone in the past, they all have a very big built-in audience. Arguably, Michael's audience is probably the biggest audience of all of those, right? It's his nephew, I think, is playing him, right? And looks to be, looks, sounds, dances like the whole 9 yards. So there's the whole Michael Jackson controversy, and we're not getting into that. I don't want to get into that. I don't care to get into that. I think it will be an interesting film. It depends how much they show. Do they show his dad being an asshole? Do they show him and his brothers? Is there a story of Janet? I don't know what it's supposed to be, if it's a from birth till death type of thing, because they do those differently, right? As they are doing these biopics. Like the Springsteen one was not a Springsteen from birth to now type of thing. It was just about Nebraska and the filming of and things.
I agree, Joe. I hope that when they do it tastefully, not.
Yeah.
I hope that they don't turn him into be this fucking dickhead, because he was really good. He was good for the industry.
Yeah.
And he just obviously later on just had some things going on, but
What
I hope that they make it a good biopic.
What people don't seem to forget is that he was as big as the Beatles. Like people, women screaming and fainting at concerts and in front of him, just wanted to touch him. And that came across completely wrong. But what I mean is they wanted clothing. They wanted to be part of like that era, because it was so, like, if you remember, like he brought out his own movie. Was it History or something?
Yeah.
It was, especially MTV. He had a cartoon, and there was these cartoon characters on bikes, these overweight guys. Michael Jackson, and it's a whole whole movie just about a song. If you remember,
yeah.
Which is, you look at it now, is nuts.
Yeah. So we'll see. It's out, what, a couple weeks, I think, maybe. I'm not sure exactly. It'll be interesting. It'll probably do well. And I guess we'll see exactly which direction they want it to go in. Mark is pissed at you now, too. I have to come up with something to piss Mark off with, I guess. I don't know. He knows I love the Beatles, so there won't be that part anyway. So
why don't we do a twofer on this one? Because you know what? Mark's gonna love this. I know Chris is gonna, but you know what? Love or hate them, I actually think that the documentary that they did, the hate, and it's called Hate to Love the Nickelback. I think it was on Netflix or whatever. I thought it was really well done. It kind of goes over their beginnings and how they started off, almost like where they almost never ever went to have any fame. They had to leave their small town, and I know that they go in the documentary, they go back to their hometown in Alberta and kind of where it all began and all that. And then kind of I think what it does is to me, that documentary almost explains why Chad Kroeger might be so arrogant.
yeah,
He started off humbly, but then they were mistreated to the point where they were receiving fucking death threats and everything. And there's no reason for that, right? Okay, I get it. You might not like them, but there's a certain point where people just need to back off.
Daryl, they sell out stadiums, mate, left, right, and center. Doing something. And I think it's all down to because
documentary, I think, is really good.
He dated Avril Lavigne, so there might be some hate off some Avril Lavigne mail.
It is good. It is good. Now, again, if you have no interest whatsoever, you're not going to watch it. But if you have an inkling of maybe finding out a little bit more, it's definitely worth the watch. So there you go. All right. So that's our rockumentary shows for this week. I think we'll keep that going. I think I got to watch some stuff. So yeah, it's good.
I'll have to watch some stuff this week.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure. I mean, there's lots of not officially produced documentaries that are always interesting. There's some good ones out there about that. So we'll see what goes. Okay, my turn, I guess, right? We're going to move on. We'll go to our next. Yep. My next one was an F. And I've shown these ladies before. But speaking of a documentary, actually, there's a very good one. And I didn't plan this. It just happened to be the next one up. There is a very good one about the band Fanny. Now, I know the UK folks will snicker maybe a little bit when you say the word Fanny. And that's why they named themselves that, I think, or that's part of it. But anyway, there are the ladies back in the day. Female rock group, really, really good, phenomenal musicians, good songwriting. This is their first album. This is a repress of it because that's them on the back and then that's them currently. This is the album cover as it was, but this is them current, or at least current as of a few years ago. I can't remember. The date's not on here. It doesn't matter. It's good. If you're not familiar with the band Fanny, check them out because they are very, very good. A couple of sisters and then a couple of other players. And again, there is a documentary. So if you want to find out a little bit more, listen to this album and then watch the documentary because it's pretty good. It goes through, of course, all the bullshit that they had to go through being women in the industry, especially women in the industry playing guitars. Everybody put up with is the wrong way to put it, but kind of the right way to put it. The girl groups, the Supremes and that, because, they were just girls singing. But then these ladies started to play their instruments and want a little more respect in that. So I liked it. It's very good. And it's a very good album as well. It's orange for what it's worth. But yeah, so the band Fanny, and this is their self-titled, this is a repress. This is the original, but it will look like this. It'll just be them back in the day, not current. So they updated it, kind of like Phil Collins did all his reissues, where it's the pictures of him now instead of what it was. Well, not now, but 3 or 4 years ago. So
yeah, type into Google Fanny documentary.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and then prepared to skip through a couple or watch whichever your call is. But I watched a UK comedian the other day, and Sarah, I can't remember her name. She was pretty funny. It's on Netflix. Again, not necessarily a music documentary review, but a good stand-up. Sarah, I can't remember. She says Fanny a lot. I think so. Yeah. Really good. Actually, she's super funny. I enjoyed it. All right, let's roll the bones here. That's a 12. I don't know if we've had a 12 yet. I can't remember if we have or not, but we're going to
12.
find out.
Yes, we have had a 12, but Joe, this is for you.
Yeah.
Would you invite Fanny to a local pub to have a drink with you?
Yes, 100%. Yes. Yeah, I think that'd be interesting to talk to them about just how much. Yeah, Chris, like I said, the UK folks are giggling a little bit more than the rest of us. Yeah, no, I think that'd be great just to talk to them just about how much bullshit they actually probably went through. Not that they wouldn't have talked about that ad nauseum, but really, really good. Again, check out both the documentary and the album. And they've got, I can't remember exactly how many they've got album-wise. I'll look it up here in a second. But good stuff, really good 70s rock and roll. Again, just not hard rock, but just straightforward rock and roll. Really good stuff.
It is funny, eh? Up until that point. Well, I mean, we know why. I mean, it's just the way the historical times. But if a woman was like in a band, they were either a front lady or they were just kind of like dancing in the background, like the Supremes, right? Like Diana Ross was the front woman, but then none of them were playing any instruments. And Fanny, I think, pretty much was one of the first ones that did that, eh?
Definitely. Yeah, really, really good. So they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then some live and some greatest hits compilation things. But Rock and Roll Survivors is the last ones. It was like 1970 to 1974. That was it. And then I believe that they continued on after that, but that was the last album that they put out. So there you go. Richard's got a live album by them. Again, give them a listen if you're out there. I think they're worthwhile to listen for sure. So,
yeah, because they paved the way for like the Runaways and stuff like that, eh?
Sure, Susie Quattro, all that early stuff again, where it was like, well, you're a girl, you can't play guitar, or other than the lady whose name escapes me, but again, she was never in the spotlight. The bass player, Carol, I can't remember, that was part of the Wrecking Crew, right? Who's been on 10,000 different albums and was probably one of the best players ever. Again, they just didn't get any credit. They didn't get any respect. Oh, you can't play. You're a girl. You can't play guitar. Well, yeah, here I can. Watch this. So, which is sometimes good. It's like, put their backs up against the wall and just see what they can do, and they performed. Again, it's a great album. So
you've done your Jeopardy quiz of the day, and I think one of the sections on there was you had to, it was a photo one, and you had to say who the female guitarist was.
Yes,
which I quite enjoyed, even though I got none of them right.
You didn't get any of them right. Yeah, women who shred. Yeah, I think Nita Strauss was on there from Alice Cooper, and Nancy Wilson. So yeah, there are some phenomenal female guitar players. Melissa Etheridge, and then I'll shut up. It's your turn. Is a phenomenal guitar player, not known for it in any way, shape, or form, but was, when I saw her live a couple years ago, she blew me away. She was fantastic. So there you go, Chris.
So,
your turn.
Talking about a quiz.
Oh yeah, sure. I don't need to play the clip. Jeopardy. It's rock and roll. It's Jeopardy, but we can't call it that, so we call it Jeopardy. 3 contestants. It's just like the game show. It's the same thing, but it's all about music. It's every Monday on my channel. A new one comes up. I've got a new one tomorrow, and then I've got to record a few. So if you're out there and you want to be part of it and you'd like to come on, and I know that there's some people that I've got lined up to do it. I just haven't got 3 people. It's hard to get 4 adults in the same place at one time, as you are well aware. So I've got to record some more, but yeah, there's a brand new episode tomorrow. There's lots of old episodes. You can go back. It's just music trivia, and it's a lot of fun. It takes an hour or so to record. We just record it, tape it. We don't tape it because it's not tape anymore. And then every Monday night at 7, it debuts and it plays for the week. And if you want to be part of it, just email me at theracerreport@gmail.com. Leave a note here. Leave a note on my page. That's where you can find it, obviously, is on my channel, not page, but channel. So yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. And these 2 have been on. These 2 will be back on again. And again, I've got some other folks lined up. Mark's been on. Richard's been on. A lot of the people in the comments. Trevor has been on. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And yeah, I think it's fun to watch anyway. Play along and go, oh man, I knew that. Daryl texted me the other day, goes, oh man, why wasn't I on today? I knew all of those ones, right? So He was all about the new metal.
I think it was like 90s music or something like that. And I'm going, how did you get that wrong?
I know those ones. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
There was the one about Green. There was the one about that one question about Green River. And I was like, that was a tricky one.
Yeah. Mark. Yeah. I failed that section completely. Thanks for bringing it up. So yeah. It's a lot of fun. I think being on is fun. I know I have a lot of fun doing it, and it's just get together with some friends and play a little trivia, and then we put it out there for the world to play along. So there you go.
Cool.
Mr. Man, it's your turn.
So my next letter was picked is the letter N. Just again, in wondering if I'm not saying M, I'm saying N for November. It's a Canadian band.
Really?
Yes.
Take off, eh? Nice.
And this is the Black Keys, and the album is called Now That You're Here. So, can't remember who sent me this. Top of my head, my brain's starting to go slightly here. Hiya, Joe. All right, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Joe sent me this. This is a brilliant album, if you can get your hands on it. I think, is it on Bandcamp now, Joe?
It is on Bandcamp because that's where Daryl ordered his and now I think has received his as well, right? So
yes, it is. It's here somewhere. I have it over here somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, I do have it.
So,
but yeah, now they've actually got it on Bandcamp, so you can check them out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
The price of the album is really good. The price of the shipping is atrocious.
Not so much. Yeah.
Tell him about it.
Yeah.
So I've obviously got the Gatefold one, which is brilliant. Thanks, Joe. There's some good ones on here. Like, I mean, Thankless World is brilliant. Lonely, Lonely, Desire. I'll Find Heaven. Now That You're Here. And if you read at the bottom here, it says, made in Canada. This album was 100% self-funded. So.
Yep. Yeah, the whole thing, even the producing the record and then putting the record out. So, and it was recorded in a little cabin just outside of Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada. Most of it. There was 3 or 4 songs that were done down in Hamilton, but yeah, great stuff. Great stuff.
There you go.
All right.
And Chris, you might be one of the only people in the UK that has that now.
I think I have. I think I might be, to be honest.
I know
the only Welsh person, should we say?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know there's one in Seattle or close to Seattle because Trevor's got his, right? I know there's one in Northern Ontario. They're actually out on tour-ish right now. They've played a few dates and they're coming here. They're at a big festival up in Saskatoon in a few months. So getting some traction. I think they've got another single on the charts now as well. So yeah, hope they do well because they're good and they're decent kids too. They're probably 30, but to me, everybody's a friggin' kid.
Tell them to pop over to Temby.
Yeah, exactly. Just go on a UK tour and just play all the small towns. And yeah, I meant to ask Dallas who the statues were, but Dawson. I don't know why I keep calling him Dallas. I got that in my head and I keep doing that. It's Dawson Dressler, not Dallas Dressler. And he corrected me once already. So I got to get that right. But yeah, good album. Check them out. Okay, roll the bones. Here we go. That's a 6. I think we've had a 6, maybe.
No, we have not.
Oh, there you go.
So Chris, I want you to choose any song on that album. What product do you think it would make a great commercial for?
That's a good question.
I'm going to go with Shiver, and I'm going to go with Keeping Warm in the Winter. So this may be a good fireplace woodwork kind of advert commercial going. You don't need to shiver. Just invest in black tea. And everything will be fine.
Lovely. Very nice. Very nice.
Because it's cold in Canada, so I thought it'd be right, but good way.
Yeah. It's warming up a little bit. Yes, you do, Richard. you're not tired of listening to us all talk about it, but maybe you are. I don't know, but there's a reason I think why we're all talking about it, because it's a very good album. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, Daryl, it is your turn, sir.
Okay, so my next letter was the letter P, and so I decided to go with a gentleman who was the lead singer of a major arena band back in the late 70s and through to about, I think, the mid 80s, and that would be none other than Journey. And so I've got Steve Perry's Street Talk album, which is the one that has Oh Sherry on it, which I think is his big solo debut. And I'm not 100% sure of how that all went down and exactly why he left the band, because I like Journey, but I'm not into the whole history behind it. But I know that at some point he had almost lost his voice and stuff too, his vocal range, and I think it was creative differences within the band. But yeah, no, this is a pretty good album. But really, at the end of the day, the only song anybody's going to know on here is Oh Sherry.
Yeah.
So Steve Perry, I mean, there's not a whole lot I can say about Steve Perry that most people wouldn't know. I mean, let's face it, he was the main singer of Journey for the majority of their big hits, their big albums.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised, actually, that there wasn't more output from Steve Perry, because he had the voice, obviously, and he would have had, if not his own writing skills, I'm sure there would have been people writing for Steve Perry or would have wanted to have him singing their songs. So I'm not sure why there wasn't more. You're right, there was vocal issues, but I think that came later. He's still out a little bit. I think sometimes he's actually with the band. There's him and the other gentleman. But there's a whole bunch of controversy and bullshit still going on with Journey. So that is a true statement. It certainly was overplayed at the time, but we've seen guys like Phil Collins who have stepped away and had a pretty decent career. Sting is another. I would have thought Steve Perry would have been able to have done that as well. As my cat walks through the picture back there. Hi, Blanche. Anyway, I'm not sure why there wasn't more output from him, unless that was his own own decision.
Yeah. Because I really liked him when he was with Journey. Like, I mean, I have the red Greatest Hits album. I don't have the blue one.
Right.
To me, the blue one is more like secondary hits. Like,
sure, yeah.
B sides, I guess you would say. There's a couple of big ones on there, but I mean, the guy just had like an ability to get an entire stadium going.
Yeah,
we're not talking like Metallica or Van Halen style, but they had their own arena rock way of doing things, maybe like the Bon Jovi type thing.
Yeah. There you go. And Steve did a couple of Christmas albums, so there you go. Mariah's made that work for herself. I don't know the last Mariah single, although not my style, but that Christmas song sure comes up all the time. Okay, let's roll the dice. Let's see. I don't know if there's a number we haven't had yet, but we'll see. Let's roll them. 14. I don't believe we've had a 14 yet. I could be wrong.
If this album was a flavor of ice cream, what would it be and why? We're just going to go with straight up vanilla, because to me, Oh Sherry is the big song, and the rest of it is just okay.
Yep. Before you said your answer, that was what went through my head instantly was, vanilla. So, yeah. All right. There you go. Another good question. Who came up with these questions? Oh, wait, that was you. Good job. Should we promote our friend Beer and Vinyl? Should we do that? I think we should do that, right? Let's do that quickly. Let's give Alex a little shot. For those that don't know, our good friend Alex of Beer and Vinyl, who isn't with us today but joins us quite often, has a new merch. Has some new merch out there. You've got the shirt too. You just went nuts. I got to get myself a shirt still, but here we go. This is what I'm talking about. No longer coming soon. It's out there. There you go. Look, it holds a beer perfectly fine. So go and check it out. Beerandvinyl.com. Get yourself a t-shirt, get yourself a beer mug, koozie, all that good stuff. Support our buddy who is out there getting her done, our good friend Alex. All right. My turn, right? I think, if I'm keeping track correctly. My next letter was an S. I've gone with the band name for all of these. So my next letter is Skid Row, and one of my favorite albums of the genre from back in the day. If you want to call them hair metal, I don't know. There was hair metal, and then there was guys like Skid Row and Cinderella and things like that, where they were just a little more hard rock than they were hair metal than anything. But great album, debut, 18 in Life on here. Sweet Little Sister, Big Guns, Can't Stand the Heartache. It's just a great, great album that for me still holds up, but it's some of my favorite stuff. Yes, I listen to Lady Gaga and I listen to Skid Row sometimes in the same day, but really good stuff. Sebastian Bach, not formerly of the band Skid Row, still out there performing and getting things done a little bit. I think it's everybody else. I don't know. A lot of these bands from this time frame, they're so pieced together these days. And the lead singers are out doing stuff, and then they're calling themselves blah, blah of Skid Row and things like that. But anyway, great album. I really enjoyed it. Again, of the genre that it's in, one of my favorites from that time. So
Cool album.
Yeah, good album. Great album. The second one was good as well. After that, I kind of lost interest on them, but Monkey Business and that from the next one was still pretty darn good. I think I have that somewhere. I can't remember. I should remember.
That album that had Slave to the Grind on it was like kind of like their downfall. They almost went a little too heavy after that.
Yeah, they definitely tried to step it up a notch or something. All right, a 7. I think we've had a 7. I'm going to stop saying I think we've had but what do we got?
So Joe, on that album, what musician do you think would have made a great guest appearance?
On here, yeah. I mean, you could have had. It depends if you want to go crazy and throw someone obscure in, but obviously they had the guys that they needed for this album. So I'm not sure. I don't know if you can throw a different voice in there. I guess maybe a good rock and roll female voice like a Pat Benatar or a Joan Jett, maybe doing, if they were going to do a duet of some sort, kind of like a Lita Ford, Ozzy Osbourne. But Skid Row never really slowed it down a whole bunch for the most part. So I'm going to go with that. I would like to have seen Joan Jett do something on here, but I'll take Joan Jett in any shape or form that I can get her. But that might have been interesting to see if they would have added a female voice to that. But you've got to have the right type of a female voice, not a Mariah Carey who has the 8-octave voice, but more of the growly Lita Ford, Joan Jett, Susie Quattro. Again, I keep bringing her up. Lady Gaga did a great collaboration with Metallica. We didn't get to see it properly because the TV screwed it up, but she has a voice.
If you wanted to go real crazy, you could almost go with the antithesis of that, and bands that might have hated them. You could have had a guest appearance by Motley Crue on stage with them.
It never would have lasted. You could have got a good fight out of it, but I think that might have been about it. So yeah, but you're right. No, that would have been okay. Like I said, do you throw an Eddie Van Halen on that album? What does he bring to that? Because again, it didn't have a whole bunch of solos. It was a bit of a guitar driven, but it was just a great album. So there you go. That's my answer.
Cool. Am I next?
You are. Yes. You are. Sorry. So, yes, Chris, it's your turn.
So my next one was R, which is Romeo. So I've gone with the band, and it is Rock of Ages. So there you go. The band in concert, Rock of Ages. I will show you the inside. There they are. This just came on black vinyl. Picked this up in a. Where did I pick this up from? Maybe a record shop. Yeah, it smells old. It's a record shop. Came on black vinyl. Don't Do It, King Harvest. You've got Get Up Jake. You've got on here Stage Fright, fantastic song. Ragamama Rag, The Wait. You've got Unfaithful Servant. Live, it's a carnival. So there you go. Rock of Ages by the band.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay, so 2 options. I can roll the dice, or you can take question number 1 because we won't get question number 1 by rolling the dice. Which would you prefer?
Give me question number 1, Daryl.
There you go.
Question number 1. I want you to take a look at the cover of the album. What do you think was happening before and after that photo was taken?
Well, it looks kind of medieval. So it could be the man with the iron mask going on by here. It was a case of they were famous and now they're being put into like a statue kind of situation. So
Yeah.
Cool. Good
Daryl, that's all I got, mate. It's somebody with an iron mask or a bronze mask. It's like I don't know where to go with this.
Very nice.
So yeah, that's what I'd probably go with because there's not a lot to go with here, to be honest. It doesn't look like makeup. It actually looks like an actual mask itself. So
Yeah, no, it does look like one of those ancient statues from like the
Yeah.
Greek times.
they're probably from Wales.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly.
Couldn't understand the word he's saying. Let's put a mask on him.
What? All right, let's do a couple comments before we get to Daryl. So Richard talking about having a Fear and Vinyl shirt and a coffee mug. That's good. Skid Row, pretty good. No Nanook, of course. I know, Mark. That goes without saying. Tiffany, I think we're alone now in life. I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is there. I love a good collaboration that doesn't make any sense, and that doesn't make any sense. If it works, it has to work. But yeah, and then great album, Chris. That's on my want list. Yes, that is a very good album. I agree with
Chris. That
those
album. What do you prefer? That one or The Last Waltz? Because they're both live albums.
Yeah, if I'm going to be honest, and this is going to piss a lot of people off, I prefer this one to The Last Waltz.
You're right.
Probably-
It is going to piss people off.
Well, you know me, it's my job. But
That's right.
It's an easier listen to, if I'm being honest. Like I find with The Last Waltz, there's too much going on. There's too many people on there. And I prefer the kind of the singing side to it, where there's a lot of gaps in The Last Waltz, and they kind of like building up to that person singing. Last Waltz is a fantastic album, but The Rock of Ages just connects with me more, I think. So it's a bit more upbeat kind of album from the band itself. So well, I'm pretty close to collecting everything now. It's I think I'm 2 albums off at this point. So yeah,
We'll find them somewhere.
well, I was going to get Jericho, but that was a record store day that this year, last year was going to happen. There's their last album with a pig on the front.
Yeah.
That's coming out, which I pre-ordered. So we'll see.
Yeah, I saw that they were reissuing that one. So that's the one after. Yeah, that's the one after
No,
Jericho.
that came out in the 90s, I think, Joe. The last album they brought out together.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Mark's just pissed at everybody today. I don't know. I got to come up with something. I feel left out, not being told go to hell. Just kidding. I just like telling people to go to hell. That's fair. I have no problem with that, Mark. That's good. That's good. Okay, Daryl, your turn.
Okay, so my next letter was the letter A. So I am going to go with my favorite grunge band of all time. And I think it's an EP. I call it an album, but I think it's actually an EP. But the Jar of Flies album. I don't know. I think I've told this story before. I was on the shitter when I was in university, And the way that my dorm worked is that there was me and my roommate, and then the washroom, and then the room beside us. So there was 4 of us sharing a washroom. Anyway, I was taking a shit, and I overheard my 2 next door neighbors talking about an album that that he used to listen to with his girlfriend and all that. He was playing it and all that, and I and then awkwardly the next time I saw him, I was like, "Hey, I was sitting there having a dump, and I heard you having this conversation. What album are you talking about?" And he told me it was this one. And ever since then, I have just loved this album. I mean, it's got, to me, this is all killer, no filler. Every single song on here is amazing. Rotten Apple, Nutshell, I Stay Away, and No Excuses were the big singles. Don't Follow is kind of their ballad. Yeah, no, this is a super cool album. And I know that it also I don't have the SAP EP, but I know that some of them kind of went together with the SAP one. But we've talked about this before. You know, the tragedies within that band. Mike Starr overdosing on heroin. He was actually on that Drew Pinsky. I forget what that show was called there. That rehab show. And then of course Lane Staley. And what makes his even more sad is, I mean, he had overdosed and nobody had heard from him, but because he was such a recluse by that point, nobody even knew he was dead for a long period of time. And it's just tragic because his vocals are so different from anything you'll ever hear on any other album. He's just so unique, and I understand that because it's grunge, it's not for everyone, but I mean, they were very different from the rest of the grunge stuff.
Yeah, they were definitely the forgotten child of that era, right? Or not by everyone, because those that, like yourself, that loved them, right? Didn't necessarily care a whole bunch about the Soundgardens and the Nirvanas and things like that. So yeah, they had a huge following, and much like many other bands, unfortunately, succumbed to the issues that a lot did, unfortunately. All right, let's roll the dice here. What do we got? I don't know why I'm doing it that way, but right now. So that looks like an 8 to me, sir.
An 8.
Yep.
Give a reason why that album should have gone viral. Oh.
Yeah.
I think that out of all of their albums, this is the one. Like I'll grab this one here, for example. So this is the Tripod album. This is not an album that you start with if you're looking at Alice in Chains. This is heavy. This is raw. This is angry. Whereas this one here has tracks on it like I Stay Away and Don't Follow and stuff like that are very radio friendly, I guess you would say. I mean, I know it seems weird, but I used to throw this on as almost like study music. I would study to it because it wasn't heavy, and I mean, it's depressing though. That's the big thing about it. It's super depressing, but it is more palatable than I think a lot of the other grunge albums ever were.
Yeah, it's a lot more accessible. Yeah, agreed. Yeah. Definitely. So all right. Okay. Me. Let's go. Next up, I had K. And I'm not going with the ones that you would think I would go with. But these guys are on my list of bands I need to see. I've seen almost everybody that I have wanted to see. Almost. Not complete bucket list yet. But the Killers are on my list of bands that I would like to see still. Hey, look, it's Killers' greatest hits. Someone's got to show greatest hits. Nobody else is doing it. There's the albums on the inside. These guys are great, out of Las Vegas. I'm sure everybody is very familiar with. They've been around for quite a while now, too. Back to Mr. Brightside. I always liked that right at the start. And they've just continued to put out some pretty good music. I haven't really heard a whole bunch in the last little while from them, but again, on my list of bands I need to see still, and I would think I'll get the opportunity. I would imagine they'll be touring for a bit. They're not young, but they've been around for a while, and they're almost to the point now of a greatest hits type of a tour. Maybe not, because again, they're still putting out some new stuff. So
Hey Joe, look on the bright side. You might see them.
Try the veal. He's here till Thursday. Very nice. They've got some good videos too. Videos not necessarily that much of a thing anymore, but then they are at the same time. Like there's some people that are still putting a ton of money into videos, and then there's others that are just, you know, kind of putting stuff out there. But they've got some interesting stuff that I enjoy. So, all right, let's roll the bones here for me. That's a 6. I think I don't even remember for sure what 6 is.
Comes up
so 6 is the one to choose a song from the album. And what product do you think it would make a great commercial for?
Sure. So Mr. Brightside for light bulbs. There you go. Coming out of my cage. Ding. And then the light comes on. Anyway. Yeah. I mean,
that would be good.
Yeah, that might be all right. So somebody told me, there's lots of great songs on here, but yeah, I'll go with that, which is a silly answer, but what the hell? I'll go with that anyway. So. All right, Mr. Man, your turn, sir.
So my next letter was O for Oscar. So I went with Zach Brown Band and Owl. One of their most recent albums. Let me show the inside, which is pretty cool. It's got like an American Indian kind of theme going on there. And the big one on you is Someone I Used to Know.
Yeah.
The rest of it is okay. I think me and Joe have spoken to this before. If you want to get into Zach Brown Band, get the greatest hits. Because it's got literally all the hits that you need to know are on there, which I have. Do you want to see the vinyl itself? Because it's pretty cool.
Sure. Yes, please. Yeah, that's nice. I like, I've got Jekyll and Hyde. I think that's not a bad place to start too, especially if you're a little bit more of a rock and roll fan, because that's what it's supposed to be, right? Is a little bit of Jekyll rock and a little bit of Hyde country or whatever. And Zach's never traditional country by any means, but a good flavor. And I always enjoy their music, but I haven't listened to a whole bunch. So, but I like Jekyll and Hyde.
I think I picked this up from eBay for about 20 quid.
Yeah, so, good. That's all right.
It's pretty cool. I'd love to see these live. I think a live concert would be amazing. I always said, like, I missed out. Me and Liz couldn't do the Sphere.
Right.
In Vegas. Was it January time, December time they were there? I thought that would have been absolutely out of this world.
Yeah, they would have been a great show there, I'm sure. So Metallica going there too in the next little while. Well, not till October, but anyway. Real quick, I forgot. I missed this one. I was going to put this up here. Any album you discover on the shitter is bound to be depressing, I guess. I'm not sure.
Not unless it's Rush.
That's right. Nice. You're on a roll today. Saw the Killers in a small Denver venue. That would have been awesome back in 2004, right at the start. So would have been doing stuff like Mr. Brightside. And then a little bit. Hello. Thanks for joining us. You got a little bit of time left to hang out with us. So that's good. We've got half an hour to go still. And it is Daryl's turn. Hostmaster, your turn. You're up, sir.
Okay. Well, I also got the letter O for this draw. And what's ironic about this is this is also kind of this also is a country album by a little known band called the Outlaws. And they're best known for, actually I showed this album, you know that channel there, Gus 69, he's out of Brazil. He had done like a video thread where you had to show albums with skulls on them. And I actually showed this. So I actually think this is a really cool album with the guitar and the skull. But it's not like this country here, it's not like twangy country. It's not bluegrass country. It's just straight like country rock, I guess you would say. But the big hit on here is Ghost Riders in the Sky, which to me, I actually think that the version on this album is superior to all the other ones. I think this one's really fantastic. And they also do I Can't Stop Loving You, which was covered by Phil Collins on one of his 90s albums. So yeah, no, the Outlaws, you don't see them talked about too much. And it kind of reminds me of like a lot of those bands like Boston and stuff that were doing like those covers with guitars and just using instruments as like vehicles and vessels, I guess you would say. So that's what it reminds me of. But I really like these guys.
So
And of
Darrell,
course they were out,
so
same time as say Alabama, but Alabama's a little more country, I guess, than that. Poco and stuff like that. They were all around the same time. So I respect it. I appreciate it. Don't listen to it every day of the week, but I like that album.
I was going to ask what kind of music that was, and you just answered my questions. Well done.
Yep. Yeah. Ghost Riders in the Sky. Very good song. Great song. And I like the way they do it. And it's been done over and over and over again, but I like their version. Just the guitar work in it is really, really good. So it's good stuff. Yeah. Artemis, speaking of spaceships and stuff, that was kind of cool to see everybody made it back safe and sound. I turned the TV on, and when is it supposed to land? And it was like 6:30 my time. And it was like, oh shit, I thought it was supposed to be 5:30. I turned it on, and literally a minute later they went into the water live. So it was pretty cool. And again, glad to see that everybody came back safe and sound. I'm not sure the ultimate goal, but just put people up there, bring them back safe. That's all I'm after. So
it was kind of funny because me and Liz were actually talking today, and I don't know if you two will agree on this, but they've made so much fuss on re-entry. And I was thinking, well, they re-entered in the 60s, and they weren't a big fuss about that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I think they were. I think they were worried a little bit about the heat shields and stuff like that. But I'm just waiting for Shithead to take credit for it all. But anyway, I digress.
Oh.
Yeah, here you go. Warp Dog with us here. Yeah, that Outlaws is Cheap Heat. I agreed. Best galloping version of Ghost Riders. Very well put. Nice to see you as well, sir. Thanks for joining us. All right. What do we got? Yeah, we got half an hour still. We're good, right? Let's keep going. Darrell shows this one quite a bit. I haven't shown this for quite a while, but it is my version, and I had P next. So my version of Pink Floyd and the Division Bell. A divisive album, I think it's safe to say, because some love it, some hate it. And then there's not that many in the middle. It's kind of one or the other. And I am in the love it category. So really great stuff. Again, you always
Mark Morris, are you gonna tell me and Joe to go to hell now? Because we both like that album.
Both like this album, yeah, exactly. We'll see. Well, maybe this is my go to hell. Maybe this is it. Fantastic artwork, as always with Pink Floyd. Always been a visual band. It would have been interesting to put a Pink Floyd in a place like the Sphere and see what they could do with it. Roger Waters is such a dipshit these days. But anyway, I digress on that. But yeah, fantastic booklet and just a wonderful album. No, it's not The Wall. No, it's not Dark Side of the Moon, but it's still pretty damn good. You still get David Gilmour playing guitar. And really, what else do you need besides David Gilmour playing guitar? That's all I really need. I mean, a little bit more out of Pink Floyd.
The only thing about that album that I don't like is the order of the tracks. I think that the tracks could have been better arranged. That's my biggest problem with it, is that Take It Back and all that, they're too far into the album. I think that they would have been better off starting it.
Yeah, the flow could have been a little bit better, a little bit different. Here we go. All right, we all get to go to hell. Thanks, Mark. We will.
Cheers, Mark.
We appreciate that. And then Richard's response to that, I assume. Yeah, it's a great album. Again, it's not The Wall, it's not Dark Side, it's not Wish You Were Here, it's none of that. But it's Pink Floyd, and it's again, it's David Gilmour playing guitar, so you can't really.
I will say it is much better. So they did that album Momentary Lapse of Reason in the 80s, and that's a weird one.
Sure.
Like nobody talks about that one.
Yeah, I listened to we've got the box set for Pulse at the shop, and I listened to all 4 of them the other day. That is a fantastic set. If you can find that, that is a very well done live set from Pink Floyd. So Pulse, if you can find it, is really good. So all right, let's roll the bones here. What do we get? We get lucky number 13. I don't believe we've had that one yet. Yeah.
All right, here we go, Joe. I want you to choose one song from that album, and you have to decide whether you're going to replace it with a carnival with carnival music, with cats meowing, or 3 minutes of Lou Reed's Metal Machine music.
Oh my!
You know which one I'd go with.
Yeah. That's hard because like you said, it's tough to it's tough the order that they went in. Maybe let's just go with the first track, and let's just start off weird, and we'll throw some cats in there just because I love cats. So we'll put some cat in there right at the start. Okay, Pink Floyd. I mean, going back to metal days and things like that, that probably would have worked. I think they probably have some albums with some cat music or some cat sounds on them. But yeah, let's do that. Let's replace the very first track, and let's just put the cats right at the start of the album and go from there and see what we get. So there you go. All right, Christopher, you're up, sir.
I couldn't find a cat sound, so we went with a gong instead.
Yeah, I don't think we have the cat. We got something new though, widgets. I haven't tried that yet, but anyway, I don't think we've got cat sounds. So,
so my album, beginning with N for Nigel or November, whatever you want to put it, is probably my favorite album from this artist. Oh, so heavy. It's Nebraska.
Very nice.
From Mr. Bruce Springsteen.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And this is the actual box set that I have received this weekend. I've been playing nonstop. I've sent messages to Daryl and to Joe going, this is amazing. I love it. So you've got Nebraska outtakes. You've got the electronic Nebraska at Count Basie Theatre, Red Bank, New Jersey. And then you've got the 2025 remastered of Nebraska. So I'll just show you the inside. So there you go. Then you've got the actual booklet itself with some pictures in. You've got the DVD. There you go. And then you've got the remastered electronic as well. So, yeah.
Very nice.
Love it.
Very nice.
Here, you've redeemed yourself. You no longer have to go to hell. and Richard's comment as well. Nebraska doesn't suck. No, it does not. But yeah, that is a phenomenal set. I know I go on about Springsteen, but now you know. Well, you knew why before, but now you even more so know why. And you and I have talked about it.
Yes.
The Outtakes album.
Yes. I'm going to be honest. The electronic Nebraska is my favorite.
Yeah.
At the moment, that may change down the line because it says with Bruce. Yeah. And I can categorically say all of us have that album now.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
We do, because I got it as VCLT a few weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm running a blank though. I can't remember who sent it to me.
The
electronic.
It wasn't Joe.
Yeah, the electronic version of Reason to Believe is worth the price of admission alone. Just all of it. It's just very well done. Again, you've got to be a Springsteen fan. We always talk about these albums that they are so good. If you're not a fan, it doesn't necessarily matter. But if you are a fan, or even if you're a casual fan, this is a phenomenal album to pick up.
What I will say is it's given me the bug now, and Liz is going to hate this, but
yeah.
I really want to get the tracks to the 9 LP box set now.
Yeah. They had one for sale in Montreal. I think they had it at 360 Canadian, which is pretty good. I
Yeah.
think that's what it was.
It's
So
going,
yeah,
it's going for Amazon UK over here for like 258, which is the cheapest I've seen. But I'm
Yeah.
just like,
it's great. I've talked about it. I won't go on about it. It's great. Again, you've got to be a fan because it spans so many different styles and versions and that. But there have been some real gems that I have gleaned from it, and I've only listened to it start to finish, like all the albums, maybe twice so far. So again, it's
can I
something.
just ask a quick question? It's been into my live stream.
Sure.
Joe, the UK UQR version of Asbury Park is out, obviously.
Yeah.
Have you ever got your hands on any of those kind of box sets? And is it worth it, would you say?
I've listened to a few of those, and they are very, very well done. Now, I'm a proponent of the hi-fi audiophile versions if it makes a difference. This is a stupid comment. And sometimes it really does. And other times I'd be hard pressed to tell you the difference. A perfect example is there is a audiophile version of Brothers in Arms, and I would put it up against any of just the original Canadian versions back in the day. In fact, it sounds worse then. And so you have to be careful. But the UHQR stuff is done very, very well. So I think that, it depends. It's got to be one of those albums, though. It's got to be one of those albums because I think they're $250 American, I think, for some of the UHQR stuff, right? So unless you can find it used. But that was the long answer of maybe. So,
Yeah.
okay. Let's roll the dice for you. Let's see. What do you get? 10.
10.
Yep.
All right, Chris. This one's going to be weird because of the kind of album that is. I want you to choose any unusual musical instrument that you think would make that album even more epic.
Stylophone.
Yeah. Throw a little bit of that in there, maybe. Yeah.
Or maybe an organ.
Yeah. Oh.
On the kind of outtakes, maybe the live recording, maybe an organ in the background going back to the roots, I'd say. I'd probably say organ or stylophone or something like that. Something a bit quirky that you're not expecting on the outtakes. I won't put it on the album itself. Yeah, let's do it with cowbell. Yeah,
please, more cowbell. Yeah, exactly. I got a fever.
Yeah,
bagpipes. Have an epic bagpipe solo.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say recorder, but nobody would buy that album.
You know what, though? That album lends itself. You could throw some weird shit like that in there. And if it was done right, it would be good.
Yeah.
Maybe not bagpipes, but recorder, maybe. Don't know about bagpipes.
I'd probably go with an organ, like a church organ, because he's recorded in churches before on different newer albums.
Mm-hmm.
I think an organ, there's something about an organ in a church, the sound of it.
Yeah.
Kind of kicking things off. I think, I'd probably go with that. Yeah.
For sure. Well, there you go. All right. Okay. Daryl, your turn. Yeah, we got time. We're good.
Yeah.
Okay. My next letter was J. J. Now, if Music Talk was here, he'd be all over this because I am going to show some Billy Joel. But this Billy Joel album has mixed reviews. And the first time I ever heard a song from this album was actually not from this album. So my parents used to have a VHS tape. Yes, I said VHS tape. VHS tape of hockey bloopers called Hockey the Lighter Side. And towards the end of it was a hockey blooper session of goaltenders in the NHL that were falling, trying to get to the bench. So there's a song on here called Running on Ice. And it's Billy Joel's The Bridge, which once again is kind of a mixed reviewed album, but it has This Is the Time and A Matter of Trust on it, which were the two big hits. And I've always liked this album. And like I said, it kind of takes me back to a time when I knew music that was actually on sports blooper tapes. And of course, there is Billy Joel looking pretty slick with his sunglasses on and stuff. It is definitely a step in the opposite direction though from his 1970s albums, right? Like if you're thinking Piano Man, or you're thinking of there's one I can't remember off the top of my head. The album, I think The Stranger, I think, is the other one. If you're thinking music like that, you're not going to get it on here. This is more 1980s pop Billy Joel, I guess you would say.
It came right after. It came right after An Innocent Man, right? I think it was in that time.
I think
frame.
so. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I've seen Billy Joel live.
Yeah.
The support act was Chris Isaac for some reason. As me and Liz were getting into the stadium, he was playing Wicked Game, and I remember turning around and going, "Well, that's all I know."
Yeah. I would be hard pressed. You would be hard pressed to find, other than, I guess, there's some diehard Chris Isaac fans that know much more beyond Wicked Game. Oh,
he was dressed like Elvis in like this glittery white kind of jumpsuit going on, and I was like, okay, that's not Chris Isaac as I know, with a vest on.
Yeah. So. Billy Joel would have been phenomenal, though. That's on the list. He's on the bucket list, but I don't know if I'm going to get a chance. I should have done that a while ago, but we'll see, because he's not even doing his stuff at Madison Square Gardens anymore. Not that I would go there to see it, but I would like to have seen Billy Joel at some point. That's definitely on the list somewhere.
I just feel there needs to be an updated greatest hits for everybody to enjoy at this present moment in time, because the last greatest hits 1 and 2 has been out, but he's got a greatest hits volume 1, 2, and 3, which is only on CD.
Yep.
And I think for the newer crowd, that'll be a good gateway into getting into Billy Joel. So
yeah, definitely. And I like The Bridge. I think that's a good album. It's not The Stranger and it's not Glass Houses for sure, but it's still good. Billy Joel's just good.
Yeah, it like you said, it falls between An Innocent Man. You said An Innocent Man, eh?
Yeah.
What year even is this?
Mid 80s.
Yeah, so this is 1986. So was Innocent Man, this one was before We Didn't Start the Fire, is that correct?
I think so. Yeah, I think it was the one right before, actually. So if I remember correctly, we need to find John. John has gone missing, actually. I'm not sure where John is. I don't know if he's popped up on your other Wednesday night show or not.
He showed up briefly the other day, so he's definitely around. I think there's just some personal stuff he's just working on, but
I just hope he's okay. I haven't seen him for a long time. So
it'd be good to see John back on a live stream as well, because he hasn't done videos in a while. So it'd be good to, I'll send him a message tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Excellent. Okay, let's roll the dice for you. What do we got? That's a 12.
Well, I'm the third one to get this question. So would I invite Billy Joel to a pub with me? Yes, I would.
Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. And I would just ask him, would you be willing to play Piano Man with a drink in your hand and a cigarette in your mouth?
Yeah.
Just once.
I think unfortunately there was a time frame where Billy would have already been in the pub and just stayed in the pub, but kind of got his act together. He did okay. He survived a lot of weird shit. There's another great documentary, actually. The Billy Joel one is pretty good.
Yeah, I'd love to go. If there's a time machine where you could go back in time, go to New York City before he was famous and just watch him.
Yeah,
raw kind of, and the characters coming into the bar, you know, and. Because the documentary is amazing. I did say to you, I think, Joe, months ago when I watched it and you recommended it, that I just felt like it needed a bit more. It ended really kind of, the beginning was brilliant because it showed him like not the music you're used to. Was it like kind of proggy kind of music or something? And then, I think I said this to John, it's like, mate, just get a girlfriend. Stop getting married all the time. It's kind of
exactly. You don't have to marry every single one of them, but yeah, no kidding. So, but we do what the heart tells us to do. Okay, we got 10 minutes. You want to go one more round?
Yeah, sure.
How about we do? I think what we should do is we'll do just do a speed round, show all of them, And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one question off of this sheet that I have not asked yet.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Okay, then let's do that. I'll go quick. Next up for me was P, and that is the Plastic Bertrand album. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that or not. It was kind of a,
Yeah.
it was a punky song. There was two
They
versions
do
of it.
that Ça plaine pour moi song.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. And it's one of those. It's one of those where it's the gatefold that way. And yeah, there was a couple. There was the Plastic Bertrand version, and then there was, I can't remember the other dude, but they like it was the same melody, it was the same music, but the words, well, one was all in French. Anyway, weird album, interesting, but kind of fun. I'm glad that I found it. I'd been looking for that one for a while. So there's the Plastic Bertrand, The Damn Truth. Chris, you're familiar with them. I think you'd listen to them. This is their most recent album. I did get another of theirs. Good, out of Montreal, Canada, actually. Good hard rock, female-led, fronted, whatever you want to call it. Again, their fourth album. They did not win the Juno for Rock Album of the Year. That went to The Beaches, but it's good. I like it, and it's kind of a cool colored.
Very nice splattered on that, Joe.
I'm sorry?
Nice splattered vinyl, mate. Love it.
Yeah, it's good. I know you'd listen to it. You liked it. We weren't blown away by it, but I know you liked it. So it's good.
I'm gonna give it a few more listens, I think. Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, give it a listen. Again, not the damn truth. Yeah, it is the damn truth. Speaking of country, you can't get much more country than these dudes. In fact, they are the country Mount Rushmore. Johnny Whalen, Chris Christopherson, and who did I not say? Johnny Whalen, Willie. Oh yeah, forget Willie Nelson, who's got a new album coming out at 95 or whatever he is. Phenomenal album. The Highwayman, the main song written by Chris Christopherson. I've got his version of it as well, and it's exactly the same. It's just got the other guys singing. Canadian band called Junk House. I picked this up a little while ago. I talked about this a couple times in the last bit. This is the album Strays, going right out of my head. Good, again, good, straightforward rock and roll.
Does it also have Shine? Does it also have Shine on it?
It does not have Shine on it. I think that was the other album. I think they only did a couple, because then he went on and he started doing a bunch of stuff, Blackie and the Rodeo Kings, I think. I'm not positive of that. But yeah, Jesus Sings the Blues, out of my head's on here. So yeah, I don't think it is, unless there's a couple of live tracks. Maybe it's that. But good stuff, really good stuff. The album Strays. And lastly, I had another S. I had S a couple of times, but the Suffragettes, and some great surf rock and roll. So we talked about the Outlaws and that guitar instrumental stuff. This is just that. It is instrumental. 4 ladies out of Ontario, I believe, that is kind of surf rock for the most part. And it's kind of a cool, yeah, seafoam green. But they're out with the Reverend Horton Heat currently on a tour, and coming to a town near you, hopefully Regina. I'm gonna get a chance because it's still coming. I haven't got tickets yet, but they're still available. But anyway, good stuff. The Suffragettes. I think maybe they've got a couple of albums out, but as recommended by Rob, Daryl's counterpart on Wednesday evenings.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Joe, I'm going to ask you a random question that hasn't been asked yet.
Of course.
Choose any of the albums that you just showed, and I want to know, what is the best snack that you could eat while listening to that album? Would it be a fancy meat and cheese platter or a greasy bag of gas station potato chips?
I gotta go gas station.
Gas station potato chips. You got to listen to the Highwayman. I mean, there you go. So, yeah, you pick up your road snacks and you get on the highway. So that one kind of writes itself, I guess. So there you go. Yeah. There's my answer to that one. So yeah, I will give you a B answer though, just because you could have a piece of pie with the girls in the diner as well. You could have that. I know pie wasn't an option, but if that was an option, if that was an option, I'd rather hang out with the girls at the diner than be on the highway with Willie and Waylon and those guys. But so, yeah, there you go. Chris, you're up, my friend.
Okay. Velvet Underground Loaded. I went with the L's. This is a Rhino High Fidelity kind of release. There's that one. For D, I went with Don't Let the Devil Take Another Day. This is
Nice.
Kelly from the Stereophonics. Live album covers all the Stereophonics songs. As you can see, there's quite a few on there, mate. So yeah, there's that one.
Is that his only solo album? Or
No. He's got his own solo albums. He got two. I haven't
Okay.
got one of them because it never got released on vinyl, but I've got the other one.
Cool.
The other one I went with, which was I've done D. The next one is M. It is Milo Goes to College by the Descendants. This came on. I'll show quickly because I know Joe loves a bit of colored vinyl. It's kind of like a oak kind of color. It doesn't really show on here, but tremendous punk album. And I know Joe's going to agree with me on this one. And the last one is H for me. And it is Chris Stapleton. And this is Higher. So
Nice.
this came on. Show the inside. Everybody thinks this is going to be orange. It's not. Sorry,
It's not,
point. This is on a green Coke bottle kind of color. So there you go. Bit of Chris Stapleton, fantastic album. That's all I've had this week on Instagram is adverts for Chris Stapleton is re-releasing all his albums.
Yep.
But I will wait for the greatest hits.
Stapleton is making his way into my top favorite guys. He is
Yeah.
so good. And speaking of great guitar playing, unbelievable, and live even better. So
So there you go.
Yeah.
That was my last couple. So yeah.
All right, Chris, I want you to choose any of the albums you just showed, and I want you to tell me, is that a sing in the shower album, a cooking and cleaning album, or a driving in your car album?
Oh, fuck. I can't cook for shit.
and I don't shower much. Oh wait, that's not.
Yeah, well, I'll go driving in the car, and I think which one which one I'm going to pick. It's got to be this one. Kelly Jones from Stereophonics. You got all the hits on here. Dakota, Hurry Up and Wait, which Daryl knows. You're My Star. There's so like Traffic, Dakota. It's packed with hits. So yeah, I drive a lot, as you know, for work. So I'm always checking on a bit of the phonics, bit of Stereophonics and stuff. So I'd go with that one. Yeah. So hope that answers the question.
There, Marcus,
Right on.
gone from telling you to go to hell to you're killing it. So there you go. You've
go.
won him over. You've won Mark Morris over.
I pissed him off and made him happy at the same time. There we go. That's all about the live stream.
All in the same live stream. There you go. Okay, Daryl, you're up, my friend.
All right. So I got W. So I went with Steve Winwood and his Chronicles album, which I believe this is it's a compilation, I think. Because I think While You See a Chance is off of the Arc of a Diver album. Yeah, this is a comp. So, it's got Valerie, Higher Love, Spanish Dancer, While You See a Chance. The one thing that I still don't have, though, is I got to get Traffic. I got to get some Traffic albums because he's really good there. Next, I got the letter E. Joe, you mentioned this musician as a great female guitarist. I got this as a Secret Santa gift about 5 or 6 years ago from one of my colleagues, Melissa Etheridge. This is her debut album, I believe, is self-titled. This is a killer album. This is amazing.
Yep.
When most people think of Melissa Etheridge, they're thinking, country music. That's not that. It's more not pop, or it's not rock. I don't know how to explain it, but it's not country. So we'll go with that. Next letter was N. I'm going to say that this is an album that probably nobody other than me has. I found this at some like an antique store. There's very little written about this band. I can tell you that they meet the mold of maybe like Americana, but they're from Ontario. And they only released this one album. It's a band called North Fork. And I think there's only 9 tracks on it. And it's all, like I said, like it's, I would call it definitely like bluegrassish type music. I lucked out and got the letter G. And of course, I couldn't do this without showing these guys.
Sure, you got the letter G. Yeah, that was an official roll
Can I just
should have
emphasize the
videotaped.
point? Daryl chose these, right? He chose the letters. That's all I'm saying.
It was fair.
This is their third one. This is their third one from 91, I think it was, 1990, 91. This is not the one that I would go to if I was starting off with Glass Tiger. But it's got Blinded, Animal Heart, Rhythm of Your Love. My Town is the one that has is it Rod Stewart? Yeah. And then the last letter I got was B. And this is a greatest hits album. And Chris, man, I had to end the show off this way because I know you're gonna love this. The Best of Bread.
Yes.
Nice.
I don't need to say anything else.
Exactly.
They're great.
Brilliant.
My mom used to listen to it all the time when I was
Yeah.
a kid, so it's
Same
a
as
great
mine.
album.
Same as mine. Yeah, cooking on a Sunday morning. Mum would chuck that on CD or tape. Yeah.
And so there's only one question left on this list. And the question is, what musician or artist do I think would make one of these albums worse? I'm just going to go with The Best of Bread, and I'm going to say Ministry.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, I don't know if that would. I don't. That'd be interesting. I guess.
Ministry doing. Let's see. Ministry doing a cover version of "Make It With You." I just can't imagine. Although Ministry did have a cover album where they did "What a Wonderful World."
Yeah.
Louis Armstrong's "What a Wonderful World," and there's actually two versions of it. And actually Ministry also did a cover of "Lay Lady Lay" by Bob Dylan. So
I
can't see them doing Bread though.
Yeah, I thought Daryl was going to say ABBA.
Did you know that?
that too?
Did you guys know that ABBA's kids have a band called the A-Teens? I did not know that, and that could be, I could be making it up, but I was watching Trackstar with Jack, and he had this young Swedish performer on. I can't remember her name. Anyway, he played a song by a band called the A-Teens, which I believe are the kids of ABBA, and there's 4 of them. So I'm not sure if they both had 2 or what it was, but anyway, just one of those things that I learned last night, that I was yesterday days old, that I learned that there was a band full of ABBA kids running around.
So there you go. Mark saying Ministry did a cover of Lay Lady Lay. So
yeah, that's off the it's off that Red album with the guy covered in like paint and holding up an American flag looking like a slob. I can't remember the name of the album now, but yeah, it's on that one.
His name's Donald. So we thanks for joining us for the live stream this evening. This has been quite fun, actually. This is me poking Daryl the bear with a large stick going, please, can we do this? Please, can we do this? And I've loved it. It's been brilliant. Hope this has been entertaining to everybody watching this later and in the panel on the live chat tonight. So just going to go around the panel real quick, see what everybody's up to, what's coming up on your show. Daryl, talk to me. Anything coming up on your channel next week?
Well, I'm going to try to do Emma's contest because that's easy. I want to do my record room. And I might do a non-vinyl related video. I got an idea. I was watching another channel on YouTube that I'm subscribed to, and he actually did a video of 10 so his channel is about board games and stuff like that, but 10 non-board gaming YouTube channels that he's subscribed to, that he watches a lot.
Okay.
So I might do 10 non-VC channels that I really like watching and kind of just promote them.
Cool.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
So me and Joe will be in that list then.
Yeah.
Exactly. Great. Well done, mate. Joe, Joe Pretty, obviously, it's coming up.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah, new episode of that. that'll be out tomorrow. There's lots of old episodes, and then I still need to record one. So I've got a couple of people, but if you're out there again and you want to jump on, if not, I'm going to grab you two and Christian, and we're going to do one. So we'll come up with something. I've got a week to do that. So I'll do that. I did, again, if you want to hear a little bit more in depth of my travels to Montreal, if you like, that's up there. I do want to do Emma's as well from 8 Vinyl Low, her Cheap Tricks contest, because Emma's awesome, and B, I like Cheap Tricks, so that's good. And you need to get the new album because it's very good. And other than that, that's about it. We'll come up with something for next Sunday. I still just love doing the live stuff. This was fun. This was a little different. It was great. Yeah, it was really good. So it was good. And you're traveling around still. You're not necessarily in a lot of towns anymore. You're out on the countryside more these days, right? So
yeah, I got some festivals coming up actually.
Right.
So I'm possibly going to be going to Glastonbury.
You said,
yeah, Glastonbury, Reading, Leeds, the Eisteddfod, which is usually in Wales. So they do like Welsh folk music, and they have like artists coming up, folk singers, that kind of stuff. So
cool.
Maybe not picking up so much, but actually going to festivals itself. So
that's good. Yeah, that's awesome. So Coachella's on right now, week 1 of Coachella. So what was there I wanted to see? I wanted to watch the David Burden one. I bet that would be good because they've got all their stuff live if you watch it live, and then they'll have it up there later. So, but yeah, that's awesome. I live vicariously through you for all the UK concert stuff, because Coachella not so much on the list, but yeah, probably. But guys got to get to Glastonbury at some point. If you're a concert goer, it's one of those that you just have to get to, just because. Take a flag and go. Right.
Yeah, so I'm hopefully going to do quite a few this summer going forward. I think the festivals start literally next month, or this end of this month, April. So there'll be a lot of festivals going to, so that should be cool. I'm sure you and Daryl will be bombarded with pictures and videos, which you are on a regular basis, from me going, nothing to do with record collecting at all. This is where I've been.
That's good.
The smallest road in Wales. You try and get through this. So thanks, Daryl. This has been amazing, mate. We'll have to do this again. I've really enjoyed this, and actually showing albums that I don't usually show, and no greatest hits.
Not one.
That's good.
So cool. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Joe. I will put a description down below for everybody's channel, and I will put a description down below for Joe's latest video that he did when he went to Montreal, because it's quite fun actually to show him, and especially the Uber ride he had. Yeah.
I should have filmed that one. It was interesting. But
yeah, I can imagine you just like a co-pilot in a rally racing around Montreal. left. Yeah, just. Okay, so thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Everybody's going to watch this later. Thank you so much. Go and check out the channels. Go and subscribe. They've got amazing channels. And from all of us here, we'll catch you next week. So thanks very much, and good night.
Have a good